Hey folks, it's Rob. Welcome back. We're continuing our series on the Monstrous Compendium Appendix for Mystara setting from 1994. And today, it's all about lizards. You're like, wow, Rob, two-page spread on lizards? Yep, a two-page spread on lizards. There are a lot of different unusual lizards for the Mystara setting, in part because there's this kind of lost world aspect to Mystara and the known world that, is, what can I say? Big old lizards is probably a part of it, right? Um, we have pictured two individual lizards, so you can see in basically serving as pack animals, right? This one's literally loaded directly with items, while this other one here on page 71 is pulling a cart, right? Um, Once again, these are more washed out than what I'm actually looking at in my hand. This is a very sky blue versus the regular blue. The whole thing is way more purpley here on page 70, including a purple shadow, which is underneath it, which you can barely see. While the green one on page 71 actually comes out a bit better in comparison, but it just seems to want to lose a little bit of dark. It's always a bit lighter, and it always seems to want to lose anything kind of in a purplish tone. And it's not like this is anything new by this point, but it is still disappointing that these aren't quite as clear and as vibrant as the original works are. And it'd be nice if they cared at all to update this scan with a better one. Just putting that out there, Wizards of the Coast. You could care about your history. It's only the 50th anniversary of Dungeons and Dragons. No, yeah, that's expected. Anyhow, let's get into it. Let's go across the stat blocks in direct comparison. So we'll just read across on all 8 of these, and then after we've read the entirety of the stat blocks, we'll move into the descriptions, right? Try to digest this, but in a comparative way. So we start with a Draco, which has a climate/terrain of temperate forests and hills. The giant was a footpad bracket giant, so call it giant footpad, right? Is in temperate hills and subterranean. The giant gecko lives in temperate forests and urban. Horned Chameleon lives in temperate forests and hills. Lava lizards are apparently found in volcanic subterranean caverns, which, I mean, is that really that different from a salamander at that point? But I guess maybe it's like it doesn't live in fire. Rockholme, which is a particular dwarven setting inside the Mystara / known world. It's a mountainous terrain populated by dwarves, as you might expect, and it's called Rockholme. And so there's a Rockholme lizard, lives in non-Arctic subterranean caverns. The Tuatara, bracket giant, the giant Tuatara. The Tuatara actually, I believe, was described in the basic set. It lives in dry, temperate plains. And the Xytar, which lives in subtropical or tropical desert, right? Tropical desert, you may be like, what the heck is that? It's tropical latitude desert, so it's like the Gold Coast of Africa. You get a bit of tropical desert actually in the Caribbean, off the Venezuelan coast. I forget exactly where, but trust me, it is a thing. So, let's see. Dracos are uncommon. They are in packs. Their activity cycle is any. They are carnivorous. They are semi-intelligent, about 2. which seems to be par for the course on the lizards, except for the Xytars. Treasure type U, so that would be its lair, of course. Neutral, all of these will be completely neutral as they are functionally animals, right? So you don't really get evil animals, you get hungry and defensive and scared animals, right? So you also don't get good animals per se. Dracos appear 1d4, armor class 5. Their movement is 12, but there's a glide. Oh yeah, these were described in the basic set as well. Glide at 15. Do we have the maneuverability? I don't see a maneuverability. I guess if they're gliding, they're not really that maneuverable. Hit dice 4 plus 2 to hit AC 017. One attack is a D10 bite. Special attack is by surprise. No special defense, no magic resistance. Size medium, it's about a 6 foot long lizard. Morale is average, 9. It doesn't want to die, right? And it doesn't have a moral cause or anything. It's just gonna run if it feels like it's losing the fight. XP value 420. The giant footpad is a rare lizard. It also is in packs. Its activity cycles any. It is an omnivore instead of a carnivore. Intelligence semi, treasure nil, so no treasure to be had in its lair. Neutral alignment, of course, D3 in its pack. Armor class 6, movement 12, but climbing 6. So it, climbs up into trees. Hit dice 2 plus 1. To hit AC 0 is 19. Number of attacks, 1. It's a D6 bite. No special attacks. Special defense is it can climb walls. No magic resistance. They are size large, 8 foot long, and again, average morale and 120 XP. Giant geckos are uncommon and in packs, and they are night active, nocturnal, to use the proper term. They are carnivores. Semi-intelligence, again, treasure type U in its lair. Neutral, D6 appears in a pack. They are armor class 5. They also move at 12, but climb at 6. They are 3 plus 1 hit dice with a 2-hit AC 0 of 17. And they get 1 attack, which is a D8 bite, and they also surprise as a special attack and can climb walls as a special defense. No magic resistance. They are size medium, about 5 foot long. Average morale again, 9 and 270 XP value. The Horned Chameleon, I believe, also was described in the basic set. They are uncommon and in packs, day active carnivores with semi-intelligent, treasure type U, neutral alignment, D3 appear, 2 is the armor class, movement 12. I'm going to remind you, for those of you not familiar with this old school kind of Dungeons & Dragons, that this is descending armor class for this version of the game, from 10. For Beckme, from 9. But the, 2 is a fairly good armor class. Movement 12, to hit dice is 5. To hit AC 0 is 15. It gets 2 attacks. That is a 2d4 bite and a d6 horn. It has surprise and a tail sweep as its special attacks. It has no special defense, no magic resistance. It is large at 7 feet long. Average morale at 10, so it's a little more stalwart. 420 XP. The lava lizard, which is a new one by me, they are very rare, you don't say. They are solitary. Diet is any, but no, activity cycle is any, but they are carnivores. They are, again, semi-intelligent with no treasure. They are neutral. Well, 1 appears because they are solitary. Armor class 3, movement 9. Hit dice 4. To hit AC 0, 17. They get 1 attack, which is a d6. Their special attack is heat. Special defenses is weapon melt and fire immunity. So, I mean, is this really a salamander? Movement 6. size morale, size medium, 6 foot long. Their morale is champion, 15. They basically very will not likely break morale because they are solitary. So they can't like watch a companion die and then go, oh crap. So, which would cause the morale penalty to cause it to potentially break, right? XP value 420. Rockholme lizards are common. They have packs. They are active at any time. They are omnivorous. They are semi-intelligent at 2 to 4. So some of them are a little smarter than others. And 4 can actually be slightly higher than the lowest of human intelligence. So use that as you will. No treasure. They are neutral. 2d4 appear in a pack. They are armor class 5, movement 15, so they're pretty swift. Hit dice 3 to hit AC 017. They get 1 attack, which is a d6 bite. No special attacks, defenses, or magic resistance. They are large at 9 feet tall. They are of average morale 10, and they are worth 65 XP each. The Tuatara is uncommon. Again, packs. They are night active. Carnivores of semi-intelligence, treasure type V for Victor. They are neutral alignment. They 1 or 2 appear. It says 1d2. I always consider d2 to be like flip a coin, but you can always roll anything that's even numbered and just decide evens odds, right? Armor class 4, movement 9. To hit dice is 6. To hit AC 0 is 15. It gets 1 attack, which is a d6 bite. No special attacks, defenses, or magic resistance. They are large at 8 feet long. Average morale at 8, which is actually the lowest of the morale of these lizards. 270 XP. And finally, the Xytar, which is a rare pack day active lizard. It's a carnivore. Semi-intelligent at 4. No treasure, however. Neutral. D6 appearing in the pack. They are armor class 3. Their move is 12. Hit dice is 5 plus 1. To hit AC 015, they get 1 attack, which is a D10 bite. It has a breath weapon as a special attack. No defense of any special type. No magic resistance. They are large at 8 feet long. And they are elite. Morale 13. 650 XP. So, it'll be fun to identify which of these 2 lizards are which that are pictured here. I will say it's not going to be the Horned Chameleon or the Draco. Draco, however you want to say it. But, yeah. Let's get into the text. Many types of lizard and giant lizard live on Mystara, ranging from the harmless to the deadly. Some species can be trained for use as mounts by a character with an animal training non-weapon proficiency who has chosen to train lizards. So, instead of the basic horse riding, they would need specifically an animal handling in lizard mounts, right? To use it in the second edition AD&D aspect. It's your campaign. If you want writing to cover riding lizards, go for it. Draco lizard. With its scaly skin and fearsome face, the 6-foot-long Draco lizard looks draconian. Its appearance explains how this creature got its name. Its head is bright red. This coloration fades to yellow at the neck and then gradually becomes green towards the rear. While the Draco lizard lacks wings, it does have wide flaps of skin between its legs, with which it can glide through the air like a flying squirrel. The Draco lizard is a carnivore, and it favors unintelligent prey. Nonetheless, a hungry Draco may drop from a high perch to attack a human or demi-human morsel. Such a victim suffers -3 to surprise. Draco lizards can be trained for hunting and guarding, but it will not carry riders. Fair enough. Giant footpad lizard. That's probably the one on the page 70 here, I'm honestly thinking about it. It's got little sucker cups on the feet, which may not be so easy to see, but they are present. And Giant Footpad Lizard. The giant footpad lizard is an 8-foot-long, slender reptile with slate gray coloration and small ridges on its back. The lizard's body seems rather flat compared to other specimens. Long, spindly legs characterize this lizard, as do its long toes that end in round, sticky pads. These pads, combined with the creature's agility and low body weight, make it the footpad lizard an excellent climber. Creatures can cope with all but the smoothest of surfaces at any angle up to vertical. If captured and trained while young, footpad lizards can make excellent mounts or pack animals. Subterranean races such as gnomes prize these giant lizards for their sure-footedness in precarious cavern environments. While bearing a rider, a giant footpad lizard cannot climb slopes steeper than 60 degrees. The lizard can carry as much weight as a pony, maximum 320 pounds. Some wizards and alchemists use giant footpad lizard hides to help create gauntlets of swimming and climbing. Aw. And I guess it's not a suitable mount for Bomber, but that's okay. Yeah, Rob, just dig out the deep Tolkien references. That'll win. Get everyone's attention. Moving onwards to page 71, at the top of the page, we have the giant gecko. The 5-foot-long giant gecko is a pale blue with orange-brown spots. Creatures find giant insects and spiders quite tasty. In fact, these lizards are common only in areas frequented by giant arthropods. Preferring to hunt their quarry at night, geckos have natural adhesive pads on their toes that help them climb trees or walls rapidly, then drop onto prey. Geckos employing this tactic penalize victim surprise rolls by -2. Giant geckos can learn to work as guard animals. So, as these can be found in urban environments, personally, I could have the party encounter them in a non-combat encounter, right? They could just be there as pest control inside the city. And as an idea, right? Or maybe they're guarding an area. And that may turn into a combat encounter, knowing for typical players, because they're like, where are they guarding? And then they get mixed up in things, right? Murder hobos. Players live up to that stereotype so often. It's disappointing sometimes. Horned Chameleon. The Horned Chameleon, a 7-foot-long lizard with a tail another 10 feet long, changes color to blend in with its surroundings. Opponents suffer a -5 penalty to their surprise rolls. A very aggressive lizard known to attack people with no provocation, the Horned Chameleon enjoys employing its sticky tongue, which can shoot out up to 5 feet. A successful hit means the chameleon has pulled the victim into its mouth and bitten, inflicting 2d4 hit points of damage. Creature also attacks with its horn, causing 1d6 points of damage. Further, it can use its tail to knock down attackers within 10 feet. A tail strike requires a successful attack roll for each victim. While such knockdowns cause no damage, victims lose the next round of attack. Lava Lizard. A strange reptile, the lava lizard lives in subterranean caverns amid pools of bubbling magma. The creature has a rock-like outer shell that helps maintain the high body temperature it needs to survive. Most lava lizards have reddish-brown hides. Bright red lumps on their outer shell resemble hot coals, and their eyes glow pale yellow. A smoky odor hangs about them. A lava lizard attacks by biting with its quick but relatively weak jaws. A bitten creature suffers 1d6 points of damage and must make a saving throw versus breath weapon. Failing to save means that the lizard holds the victim fast in its jaws for that round, inflicting an additional 1d6 points of heat damage. Magical means of fire resistance, such as rings, potions, and spells, can reduce this extra damage. Lava lizards remain immune to normal and magical fire. Whenever a lava lizard is struck by a non-magical metal weapon, the attacker must make a saving throw for the item using the magical fire category of the item's saving throw chart. A failed saving throw means that the weapon melts due to the lizard's intense heat. The melted weapon still causes damage on that round, but becomes useless afterwards. Although these creatures dwell in hot subterranean caverns, they can wander several miles away from the life-sustaining heat the lava pools produce. They cannot stay away for long, however. Story tells of lava lizards found frozen like statues, presumably having stayed too far from their heat sources. Up to you to decide how long is too long away, right? Certainly not a matter of minutes, right? If they can wander miles away. They're not strictly that fast, right? You know, they are move 9. They're the slowest lizard of this bunch, other than the Tuatara, which only ties it. Rockholme. The Rockholme lizard is a gentle creature commonly found in subterranean colonies of dwarves or gnomes. Possibly an ancestor of the lizard man, it stands on 2 legs and seems roughly as intelligent as a domesticated dog. So that's what we have pictured here on page 71. That's the Rockholme lizard. That'd be why it's hauling a mine cart, I guess, right? But it's definitely standing on 2 legs, and I doubt anything else, unless the Xytar is doing that. It's probably this is what we're talking about. All Rockholmes can run very fast. They have long forelimbs for catching prey and strong jaws. Coloration varies from pure white to whitish hues of green and blue. As they thrive in captivity, these reptiles can learn to perform simple tasks. They catch rats, carry riders, pull wagons or carts, and run in large wheels to power machines. Unfortunately, Rockholme lizards do not get along well with horses. The species seem to scare each other. In addition, they die if exposed to sunlight, suffering 1d6 points of damage per hour of exposure until dead. Aw. So yeah, purely subterranean. You won't find them outside the Rockholme region in that case. Again, use these as you see fit. And if you want to make an exception for, like, being on the surface because you just think this is a neat lizard, go ahead. Inspiration can be yours wherever you find it. Giant Tuatara. An 8-foot-long lizard that looks like a cross between an iguana and a toad is the giant Tuatara. While spikes along its back protrude from olive-colored pebbly hide, white spikes along its back protrude from an olive-colored pebbly hide. I misspoke there, and I apologize for that. Tuataras have a temperature-sensitive membrane over their eyes, which, when lowered, allows the lizards to see in darkness, 90-foot infravision. Tuataras love to hunt small animals at night and sleep during the day. They aggressively attack people who wander too close to their lairs. Although these lizards can be trained to attack, the spines along their back make them poor mounts. Xytar. Because of Xytar's fiery breath, inexperienced travelers sometimes mistake these 8-foot-long lizard-like creatures for dragons. Xytar hides, though predominantly yellow, bear red and orange mottlings along the back. Xytars have 6 legs and long, toothy jaws. They dwell in hot desert areas and can go without water for weeks. The carnivorous Xytars hunt in packs, often targeting passing caravans and settlements on the fringes of deserts. Xytars attack either with their strong jaws or their breath weapon. They can breathe a cone of fire 30 feet long and 10 feet wide at the base, causing 10d4 hit points of damage. Creatures in the area of effect take only half damage if they make a successful saving throw. A favorite Xytar tactic involves first breathing fire to soften up victims, and then closing in to snap and bite in melee. Alchemists seek out the throat sacs that create the lizards. It says the lizards is the fire, so it shouldn't say the fire at that point. Using them to concoct potions of fiery breath. With much difficulty, Xytars can be trained to attack, +4 penalty to proficiency checks. The creatures must be raised by their trainers and will not respond to anyone else. Only Scythic lizardkin are known to commonly raise Xytars. So I believe the Scythic might show up actually elsewhere here in the book. as we'll have Lizardkin coming up probably in the next episode, I believe, as that's another 2-pager. But that was interesting, and hopefully inspirational to you if you're running a game. I think they add a bit of flavor and a bit of spice to a campaign by having some unusual mounts, and lizards are a natural and obvious choice for something a bit different but not too weird, right? And those footpad lizards, it's a bit, I mean, I was just saying not too weird, but it is a bit weird to have like something that can really go up really steep inclines, carrying loads and smaller passengers, even man-sized passengers. But at the same time, it's not like magically weird, right? And it's not like so bizarre that you're like, no, I can't. It's got to be some kind of magical effect or an illusion, right? And it would be different for the party to encounter, especially if they're away from their normal base of operations, right? If they're it helps illustrate how a place is different, because there's giant lizards here, and back home they don't have giant lizards, right? Anyhow, that'll be it for today. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate you spending your time with me here today. If you liked what you did here today with me, you putting a like on the video would help me a lot. It means a lot to me. Again, I'll see you again next time. Have a great night. Goodbye.